Some moments don't just age badly, they haunt you. And when it comes to Harry and Meghan, the internet never forget. These aren't tiny slip-ups. These are moments where the secondhand embarrassment is so strong, you physically feel it. The kind of moments people rewind just to make sure they really saw what they think they saw. It starts with a habit that's almost become second nature. The uncontrollable urge, the spotlight addiction. At the Kevin Costner event, Meghan walked onto that stage already convinced the microphone belonged to her. She reached for it confidently, too confidently. But Kevin didn't let go, not even a flinch. He held that mic like it was oxygen. And for a split second, you could see it on her face. The panic, the recalculation, the forced smile snapping into place. She pretended everything was normal, but the cameras caught every awkward millisecond. That moment lives forever now. And then came another stage appearance. Harry and Meghan were called up together, but this time Harry did something rare. He tried to control the moment. He subtly signaled for her to stay back. Just once, he wanted a solo moment. But Meghan ignored him completely. She walked up anyway, inching herself into the frame, smiling like she'd rehearsed it. When she tapped Harry unexpectedly, he jumped and nervously blurted out, "Hi, hi, hi," like a man caught off guard by his own wife.
Chief Mark Howard. Oh, hi. Chief Mark, thank you for giving the full context of
And when Harry didn't hand her the mic, the retreat was painful. Slow. Awkward. She got her photo, sure, but at what cost? Another public cringe burned into memory. Then came a moment so uncomfortable it still makes people squirm. At the Lion King premiere, surrounded by Hollywood royalty, Harry and Meghan weren't networking, they were begging. Leaning into Disney executives, Harry openly asked if they could give Meghan a job right there. On the red carpet, cameras rolling. No shame. No self-awareness. If embarrassment had a peak, this was it. Bob Iger's wife's face said everything. Shock. Disbelief. That frozen smile people wear when they can't believe what they're hearing. Meghan had genuinely believed that leaving royal life meant instant Hollywood success, endless opportunities, no grind, no rejection. But reality hit hard. The Netflix deal started wobbling. Spotify dropped her podcast after one season. Projects fizzled. Promises evaporated. And suddenly, Meghan was selling candles. Candles? Then there was the game. A crowd packed with celebrities. LeBron James, Savannah, Brad Pitt. Harry and Meghan were there too. When they appeared on the Jumbotron, it should have been applause. Cheers. Admiration. Instead, it was boos. Loud, unmistakable boos. Harry's face dropped instantly. The discomfort was written all over him. Meghan tried to plaster on that camera smile. The one she uses when things go wrong, but it couldn't undo the moment. The sound had already happened. The damage was done. But sometimes the most embarrassing thing isn't noise, it's silence. Meghan learned that the hard way when she was mid-rant, talking with intensity. When actress Kristen Scott Thomas simply stood up and walked away. No acknowledgement, no excuse, nothing. Meghan was left speaking to absolutely no one. Literally talking to the air. That kind of dismissal cuts deeper than booze. It tells you that what you're saying doesn't matter. Then came the attempt to relive royal glory. Instead of a carriage, it was a golf cart. Meghan waved enthusiastically at people who weren't even looking at her. Harry joined in, waving too, pretending the attention was real. It wasn't. They would have looked more dignified walking around naturally, but dignity has never been their strength. Everything has to be a performance. At the Disney anniversary, they appeared for a 2-second cameo. 2 seconds, and even then Meghan couldn't let Harry speak uninterrupted. She cut in immediately. Place on earth for no reason. Prepare yourself. We were just so you're about to be blown away. Some people fear cameras. Meghan survives on them. At the Well Child Awards, everyone completed their duties and calmly exited the stage except Meghan. She lingered, clapped awkwardly, stood alone, waiting, hoping, begging silently for one more camera shot. None came. The audience didn't respond. They've seen this before. They're tired. And then there's the memoir, frostbitten stories that never needed to be told. Harry wrote about his private body parts with zero shame, published it while the Queen was still alive. Late-night comedians had a field day. Even people who supported him admitted they needed holy water after reading it.
-35 outside, you're wearing lots of very warm clothing which makes you sweat and the sweat drips down. And
Well,
it's...
they should have sent Prince Andrew then, shouldn't they? Yeah, I mean, really.
And then that then freezes and that obviously caused frostbite to his nether regions.
Can we
See,
just please hope there's
you
no...
get royal gossip, you get biology, you get a lot with us.
Please, can there be no sequel to this book? I can't take it anymore.
Paris Fashion Week didn't go much better. Meghan walked in like she was auditioning for a runway that didn't exist. The stiff chin, the exaggerated strut, the internet immediately crowded the Zoolander walk. Memes flooded social media. People joked she looked lost, searching for her seat. Derek Zoolander won that comparison unanimously. Then came the coronation. Harry flew in, sat in the third row, blocked by a giant feather, and left almost immediately. It was so brief it felt like a cameo. But it was bittersweet. He arrived alone, left alone. While the rest of the family laughed together, Harry climbed into the back of a BMW by himself. Meghan has often described herself as emotionally intelligent, yet former staff reportedly needed therapy. She spoke about authenticity while allegedly creating chaos behind closed doors. And the moment that you were able to be liberated from all of these other opinions of what you know to be true, then I think it's very easy to just live with truth and live with authenticity. But staff describe something very different. Whining, complaining. Victimhood on repeat. Harry's speeches didn't help, they lacked confidence, direction, meaning. After an emotional firefighter speech, he responded with generic Hallmark lines. When the reaction fell flat, he rambled talking about trust, vulnerability, mental fitness, until it got uncomfortable. Are you aware of what a difference that makes to anybody out there who's wearing a uniform? Then came the comments about appearances. You're a good-looking guy, pretty stacked. Looks like you haven't been to the gym for a while. It wasn't a speech anymore. It was awkward rambling. And finally, at the game, Harry looked miserable, closed off. Avoiding eye contact, Meghan grabbed his hand to force a united image. But it looked staged, performative, like a PR moment that failed in real time. And there you have it. 13 moments that weren't just awkward, they were unforgettable. And what makes all of this even harder to watch is the pattern. None of these moments stand alone. They stack on top of each other, one after another, until the picture becomes impossible to ignore. The reaching for microphones, the forced smiles, the interruptions, the waving at people who aren't waving back. It's the desperation that leaks through, that quiet panic of needing to be seen, needing to be validated, needing the world to react the way it used to. Harry, meanwhile, often looks like a man trapped between loyalty and regret. You can see it in his posture, the way his shoulders slump when the applause doesn't come, the way he freezes when the camera lands on him. These aren't the expressions of confidence or freedom. They're the expressions of someone realizing that choices have consequence, and some doors don't reopen once they're slammed shut. And Meghan keeps performing. Always performing. Every moment feels rehearsed, curated, calculated. But the audience has changed. People aren't buying it anymore. They recognize the gestures, they predict the moves, they know when a smile is real and when it's being pasted on for survival. That's why the silence hurts more than boos. Silence means indifference. And indifference is the one thing she can't fight. What once looked like bold rebellion now looks like confusion. What was marketed as independence feels more like isolation. The grand reinvention never quite landed. And instead of applause, there's scrutiny. Instead of admiration, there's fatigue. The cameras are still there, but they don't feel friendly anymore. These moments aren't just embarrassing because they happen. They're embarrassing because they keep happening. Over and over again. And each time the mask slips just a little more.